Well, we're live now to our reporter Liabo Setho, who's at the Chamber of Mines in the Johannesburg CBD, where marchers were due to deliver memorandum. Good afternoon, Liabo. What's happening at the Chamber of Mines this hour? Apologies for that technical glitch. We will try and cross back to Liabo at the Chamber of Mines in the Johannesburg CBD in just a short while. But for now, let's move on to some other news. The taxi business in Mahikeng in the northwest has been negatively affected by the Cosatu national strike. Now, most taxi operators say business has been very slow as many commuters opted not to report for duty today. Well, hundreds of Cosatu-affiliated union members will march to the Northwest Provincial Legislature. They'll hand over a memorandum to the Northwest Premier, Supra Mahumapelo, the Northwest Business Forum and the Chamber of Mines. Now, issues contained in this memorandum include job losses, health and safety measures for mine workers and corruption, amongst others. But NUMSA General Secretary Irvin Jim said that march was nothing more than a campaign between two factions. He said the marchers failed to address the real issue, which is still white monopoly capitalism.
I think we should be on record that the South African state, since 1994, has been captured, has been owned and controlled by the dominant class in this country, which is white monopoly capital. If we were having Cosatu making demands and the rest of everybody else within the Liberation Alliance, the proper demands to be made is that we need to nationalize key commanding heights of the economy in this country. We need to transform minerals, energy and finance complex. Unfortunately, that's not what this march is about. This march is a march as a result of two fighting capitalist factions, one that is represented by Cyril Ramaphosa and the one that is running around with Zuma with corruption. And in our view, we think that we have fooled workers in the past. The ANC has failed to change the structure of South African economy and affirm black were the majority into the economy and change power relations in society. We think that that's a fundamental issue. Secondly, Cyril Ramaphosa, who's being marketed through this march, basically is the one who is putting into law where poor workers, setting a terrible precedent of 3,520 rand an hour instead of giving workers 12,500 because those martyrs of Marikana died demanding 12,500 national minimum wage. Cosatu is not taking up that particular campaign. Secondly, we know, for instance, if Cosatu was serious about jobs, the simplest demand we should be making to deal with this cronyism and corruption, especially in SOEs, is that all SOEs boards must be changed and civil society, trade union, business, government must sit in those boards so that they can be transparent around procurement, and we use procurement to champion localization to create jobs. That's not what this march is about. Surely this march is about those who are in the alliance who feel very threatened by what they do not know in December. This is a march to book a ticket for leaders of Cosatu and SACP who want to get their position in parliament next year, and they think that Cyril Ramaphosa will deliver that.
All right, let's try our reporter Liabo Setho, who's at the Chamber of Mines in Johannesburg this hour, where marchers were due to deliver memorandum. Good afternoon, Liabo. What's happening at the Chamber of Mines?
Kashni, I'm hoping that you can hear me now as I speak to you. The march has arrived at the Chamber of Mines, and very shortly we are expecting Cosatu to serve the memorandum of demands to a representative of the Chamber. This is where they will give them their demands. Particularly, this has to do with job losses in the mining industry. You remember that close to around 70,000 jobs have been lost in the mining industry, and of course, this also has an impact and a bearing on the economy. And Cosatu wants mining companies to see what they can do with regards to that. The march has largely been peaceful, and right next to me I spoke to Mr. K. Makobela, who is the spokesperson of SABC, and he tells me that close to 7,000 people have turned up for this march. And at the moment everything is peaceful, and this is the last stop, of course, that is here at the Chamber of Commerce. And we're expecting that after this the marchers will disperse and probably go back home or to their places of work.
We took also a decision that we must support the joint SACP Cosatu 70 campaign to ensure that all the workers who are not unionized join the trade union of Cosatu. Because organizing workers as individuals.
There's currently a speech made by an ANC representative talking about how workplaces should be organized and how trade unions should be present at workplaces.
Health and safety, the amended Labor Relations Act to fight for workers. Trade unions must be strengthened at workplaces, comrades. Without strengthening...
Let's take a listen to what a representative of the ANC is currently saying to the marchers.
The trade union movement will be dissolved. We agreed on that campaign is important. Cosatu has to grow further and further, because the trade union Cosatu is a progressive revolutionary trade union. We also agreed that the campaign of Samco, we support that campaign, so it's an interaction between the Namsebenzi and Kurumshali. And the several campaign of the African National Congress explained through the Know Your Neighborhood campaign. African National Congress members must start working on the ground. They must start going into homes of residents. If members of the African National Congress start working on the ground, quarrels will stop within the organization, because everybody will be busy. So Know Your Neighborhood campaign, the Namsebenzi, Kurumangshali, and the Back to Basics campaign of Cosatu. The decision of Cosatu to go back to the basics. Those four campaigns will be the campaigns of the alliance in the province. Know Your Neighborhood campaign, the Namsebenzi, Back to the Basics of Cosatu, those are the campaigns which the alliance is going to be anchored on. We also agreed that there is nothing wrong to reconfigure the alliance. So we commissioned a document so that the alliance can also be involved in joint decision making. But I guess some who are in. Now we're trying to get a decision in the alliance together. So you're not the living wage campaign must continue.
Can you find out what's happening? No one is directing me. I don't know what's going on.
It's quiet. We've agreed that by 2019, we must ensure that insourcing happens in workplaces.
I need to get a guest.
Because worker who's temporary cannot even make a contract, cannot open an account. It's very difficult. So when we start that campaign, we do it. We can then tell the private sector to also insource.
Okay.
So
Rapol is not communicating with me. I don't know what's
members of the ANC by coming to this march. You are implementing decisions of the National Executive Committee of the ANC. So you have on Facebook, they implement the decision of the National Executive Committee of the ANC. On state capture, on corruption, on the Judicial Commission of Inquiry.
I need to get one person that I can ask one of the...
committee took a decision in July that in the retail sector, in the hospitality sector, in agriculture, there must be quotas for foreign nationals. You remember that decision in July? So it means people are concerned about jobs in South Africa. The journalists are saying, they were in the press conference, Natasha explained on 20 in hospitality, in retail, in agriculture. But we never knew the youth of South Africa. So thanks, comrades. This is an important march. The battle lines have been drawn. We can never allow our government to be hijacked by looters. Our government has been elected by the people of South Africa. The African National Congress, majority of its members agree with the demand against state capture, agree against corruption, agree on Judicial State Commission of Inquiry. And those who are refusing this demand must explain whether they are captured or not. Thank you, leadership of Cosatu. Aluta continue.
Comrade Keninapo, Comrade Peter Bailey, the chairperson of Health and Safety of NUM, to read the memorandum to those who are shedding jobs on a daily basis, and in corners they say they fight state capture when they themselves and we themselves on a daily basis without even looking at mine workers. Comrade Peter.
Viva Cosatu, viva! Viva the Alliance, viva! I think, Chairperson, it would be appropriate to talk directly to the chamber as well before we read the memorandum.
Yes.
We must raise two things to the chamber. When the masses of South Africa marched against government and the African National Congress to have a democratically elected government removed through the corridors, you paid them fully. Pay these workers as well.
Yes.
You are not going to apply the principle of no work, no pay to the mine workers. Secondly, we want to speak to you about the disrespect you show to the Federation and to the Alliance that is present here today. There is senior leadership of the Alliance present here, both at the banks and here at the Chamber of Mines. They send us the most junior people to come and talk to you as the masses and receive the memorandum on their behalf. We think that that is unacceptable and it should be corrected within the chamber. It speaks volumes of the lack of transformation in the mining chamber of mines. Because the reality of the matter is, they send us black faces to face black people. And yet, their bosses and the decision makers are lily white. Those who own the means of production still remain lily white. And it's also important to raise to the chamber that the number of black people that die in the mining industry, and you continue as though it is business as usual, can't be tolerated any longer. As we speak today, we stand at 60 mine workers that have died in service of selling their labor. None of these workers sell their lives, their limbs, or their lungs to the brutality of this industry. We sell our labor to support our families with dignity. I must face the camera.